resistor come off, wires come off one of the cathode bias resistor in the cathode bias circuit, which was causing all my issues. So now that I got that fixed, things seem back to normal here. So we have running about 250 watts of carrier ish, 275 give or take. Good morning to you, Bruce, KI4HHK. Hopefully we'll be able to hear you pretty well here this morning. So I'm going to send it down to you, Bruce. Put me in the rotation here. I'm going to go get another cup of coffee. KI4HHK in the group. W3MMR. Drag your feet for a second, Bruce, because I did see a big, strong carrier in there. W3MMR. I got you, Dan.
Something a little bit more, some good practice. That last one, I don't know if you were listening or getting all that outside stuff, but I didn't mean to get that way as have to go over and kind of rehash some of the things. But of course, somebody that got I don't know if you can say which one, but
back up to you, Pick. Well, I've talked about this a little bit here, Bruce. KI4HHK with W3MR, KK4GZQ. Some of the stuff I was telling you about there earlier, Bruce, there has been some reports of some positive incident due to the fact of not so much fossil fuel being burned out there, and there's some other things that are going on that that Mother Nature, I guess, is recognizing, because due to the fact, even though everybody's cooped up in together and trying to figure out what to do with themselves, a lot of folks are anyway, and I can't help but feel for people, you know, and especially right now with people that got family in nursing homes. I've got another friend that had to have a pretty major operation, and she had to go in without any family members, nobody there to support her. I mean, there's tons of cases, so of a bunch of stuff we could talk about, but nonetheless, got to look to the bright side. Got to keep moving forward. W3MMR, Perry, up to you, and send it back to Bruce. KK4GZQ.
KK4GZQ in the group. W3MMR. I think I heard somebody else break in. I thought I heard Dan, N8IE, when I gave it to Bruce. I could be wrong, though. Somebody was breaking in. I had to run down the hall to the command center for my morning visit. But everything's okay now. Everything came out all right. Yeah, Kevin, I don't know if you heard while you're going to get coffee, but I don't know. I was having some issues with the amplifier, some intermittent issues. It was working fine, and next thing you know, the grid current was high, excessive grid current, end plate current at low drive, and then then at some points the tube would start to I figured out now it was probably an oscillation. The tube starting to oscillate, but it was when I would key up, it would hum, and on the scope I would see like square waves. It would look almost like a CW tone on the scope, where it's got the positive and negative. It looks like a little square in the middle of the scope, and then it's got the baseline and square, baseline, square, baseline. I was getting that when I would key up even at like 1 watt of drive. And they said it was humming real bad, so on and so forth. So I took the thing apart, and I ended up 2 wires had come off on one side of a wire wound resistor that is part of the cathode bias circuit. So once I put those back on, everything's been fine. Right now I'm doing about 280 watts of carrier with about 24 watts of drive, 23 watts. So it's working good, man. This thing will scream. If I had the power to drive it, this thing would really scream. And this thing will do 1500, 1600, 1700 watts on sideband with 100 watts of drive. So this thing's working good. I know me and you, Kevin, had talked before over Messenger about it, and I was trying to figure things out, and at least now I got it all straightened out now. So that's the story on that. So back down to Bruce. And Bruce, drag your feet for a second. Let's see if there's a breaker. KI4HHK in the group. W3MMR in Chester, Pennsylvania. No audio.
Good carrier.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Bruce. Bruce. KI4HHK with W3MMR. You know, I mean, not everybody feels the same way about it, man. I'm seeing some folks that, you know, that it's not going to bother me sort of attitude, and then I've seen some that are, you 12 feet of them, they look at you like, don't come any closer. Perry, I copied what you said. I don't know what's going to happen, Bruce. You know, you know, slowly but surely people have to try to, you know, once we, the water's tested and the numbers start declining and whatever, then okay. But, you know, when Artie's up there in Long Island talking about refrigerated trucks sitting at the funeral homes, it's enough to get my attention, I'll tell you that. And Perry, okay, on a better note, on the 3CX 1200 D7, and it was a wire wound resistant in the cathode bias circuit, and 50 watts in, getting about 275 out. And yeah, if you get it more dry, that tube's got plenty of gain. But I'll tell you what, Perry, I've run this one since day one. I've ran it right, 300 watts a carrier. My grid current is low, plate current as well. I mean, I've got all kinds of headroom on it. It's plenty. You know, I could roll it up on higher or whatever, but it's not needed. I can feel an outstanding difference between the Henry 3K. Sure can. I can feel it already. You're much, much stronger on the band. W3MMR with KI4HHK, KK4GZQ, and still looking for that braking station. W2BNY.
Hey, I can hear Steve locally. Oh my God. I can hear BNY locally. Good morning, Steve. It's been a long time since I could hear you locally, buddy. Well, here in the morning anyway. Good to hear you. WTBNY breaking in, and there was another breaker in there, but I couldn't make it out. Maybe you heard him, Kevin. Good morning to Steve. Steve. Great to hear you, buddy. And Kevin, okay. I guess I have a stronger signal now. That's a good thing. So I guess this thing's doing what it's supposed to do, right? And I'm not running, you know, that much more power. I guess about 75 more watts, 100 watts at the most. But I guess every little bit counts, you know, when you're a mud duck like myself. So anyway, very good on that. Yeah, real quick, I got a Heathkit Cantenna dummy load over here. Maybe you guys can speak, one of you guys can speak on this. It's a little bit low on oil. It's about 3/4 of the way full with what looks like transformer oil inside of it, okay? It's like a brownish color, clear brown. And they came with transformer oil back in the day. This thing's old. It's old. And it's about 3/4 of the way full. And I was wondering so I don't have to buy a $40 gallon of transformer oil from MFJ, if I could just top it off with mineral oil and that would suffice. I don't know. Some guys have said to use mineral oil, don't use mineral oil, so on and so forth. In the manual of the Cantenna, it says the mineral oil, you can use mineral oil, but it doesn't, you know, won't be able to take as much power for as long. And in the manual of this thing, it says it can take 1,000 watts continuous for 10 minutes. And this amplifier I'll put out during tune, you know, I can drive it up to about 1,700 or 1,800 watts while tuning up a continuous carrier. And the dummy load doesn't get that hot, except for where there's not fluid. You know what I mean? I can feel the can down at the bottom. It's nice and cool, and the top is red hot where there's no fluid. You know what I mean? So I might have to invest in a new dummy load. But until for now, I'm just asking if one of you guys have ever used mineral oil in one of those things and how it worked out for you and what kind of power maybe you've put into one of those things. So with that being said, I'll flip it up to you, Steve. W2BNY will get you in here, then send it down to Bruce, KI4HHK. W2BNY, here it comes from W3MMR. Good morning, Steve.
Hey, Perry, on that mineral oil, I just had in my bird 1,000-watt dummy load. I took out the PVC oil.
Bruce?
Gotcha.
Good to hear you all on. Yeah, Perry, I bought an MFJ Versaload, which is a copy of the Heathkit antenna. And from the start, it was brand new, and I loaded it with mineral oil. I bought, I think, a gallon of the mineral oil at one of the hardware stores or the farm supply stores. Mineral oil is pretty cheap. And in the antenna that you've got, Perry, they have a PCB type oil in there, which, of course, is pretty toxic to humans. And I can't tell you too much about mixing in there with mineral oil, but the one that I've got has complete total mineral oil, and it has much the same specs, 1,000 watts for 10 minutes, and the time to tune up the DX100, and yeah, the top gets a little bit warm, the bottom starts a little bit cool, but you know, with convection, the mineral oil will start to circulate in there, and it's got a little pressure valve on top, and sometimes I've got to wipe down the top because some of the hot mineral oil escapes. But the mineral oil is pretty cheap, so you know, easy to top it off when it needs it. So that's pretty much the situation. Yeah, DX100, SB220, you guys are sounding great. Perry, did I hear that that's a Henry 2K that you're on now? Sounding really, really good. Anyway, I'll pass it to Bruce right now. This is down to you, Bruce, HHK from W2BNY. November 140.
Bruce, and I know there's a couple braking stations out there. I saw one just a little high and one just a little low frequency, but I did see and heard one of the breakers, so I'm going to keep it short. I'll sign with you, Steve. I'm sorry. Bruce, I'll sign with you and say good morning to Steve and get some of these other guys in here. And it's great to hear you and have some conversation with you this morning, Bruce. It's been a while. And like you guys, morning, Steve. I'm like you, Steve. I'd dump all of it out, and I know mine's got nothing but mineral oil in it. And I bought mine used, and somebody had drilled a hole in top of it for it to vent a little bit, so I just went with it. And it's done well as long as I don't get, too carried away out here with any long transmissions or whatever on it. So that's my take on the Cantenna, guys. Perry, pick up some of these breakers. W3MMR, S73 to KI418K with W2BNY. This is 54GZ2.
Any breakers that want to get in? Now is your time. Now the stage is yours.
Contact, N2MIN.
N2MIN, and there's somebody else that's saying their call very, very fast. Did you make out that station, Kevin? Yeah, I can't make him out either, unfortunately. Try again after this transmission here, bud. I'll try to get you in here. I'm going to send it to Arthur, and then you can try to see if we can get you in there. Actually, I'm going to send it to Steve, and then Steve, you can send it to Art. W2BNY sends it to N2MIN down to Kevin KK4GZQ, because Bruce signed. So 7-3 to Bruce. I was having a rough time with you this morning, Bruce. Band's a little loud up here, and you weren't that strong this morning, but unfortunately. But nevertheless, good morning to you, Bruce. Have a great day. And yes, Steve, this is a Henry 3K. A Henry 3KD Classic desktop amplifier that was made from 96 to 98. They didn't make too many of them on this desktop model, and has a 3CX1200D7 tube in it. And I picked it up, I guess it's not last weekend, but the weekend before. So I've had it for a little over a week, I guess now. Working some bugs out with it, I guess from transport. As the thing worked fine up in Connecticut, and then you know how things go. They when something hasn't been moved around in a very long time, you start picking it up, setting it down, putting it in a car, and it gets beaten around a little bit. Things get jarred around, so that's okay. Things happen, but everything's back up and running here. My Anon, I'm on the Apache Labs Anon this morning. The Anon here doesn't drive the thing real hard. I can comfortably get about 300 watts of carrier on AM here without stressing out the Anon too much. The amplifier can sure take it, and I'm doing about anywhere about between 110 and peaking up sometimes to 120% on the positive peaks. So I know that the radio's not running out of headroom, and everything seems to be working okay. I got an external grid current meter coming. It's got a grid meter test point in the back. We can plug an external meter into, so I can keep an eye on the grid current here at the operating position, because the amplifier is under a desk on the other side of the room that I built a door for and put an exhaust chimney on the thing, and like a big 6-inch dryer too to exhaust it out from underneath the desk there, because the thing's loud. You can probably hear it still. in the background, but it used to be it was when it was right next to me where the AL80B used to sit, or it sits now. I put it back in its home. It was like sitting next to a vacuum cleaner while on the air. So everything seems to be working all right with it. And thanks for the compliments, Kevin, on the signal. Hopefully, I'm glad my signal's improved. I was kind of just more looking for headroom opposed to an increase in the signal. I wasn't really expecting too much of an increase, but that's just a bonus, I guess. With that being said, I'll turn it up to you, Steve, and then Steve, you're going to turn it to Arthur, N2MIN. W2BNY, downtown Buffalo. This is W3MMR.
W3MMR, W2BNY. Yeah, there's an N1 station trying to check in, so I'm going to drop out here and see if we can pick them up. If you would repeat your call a couple of times, we'll try to get you in here. So to the N1 station, this is W2BNY in the 3885 group.
Got it. Frequencies in use.
Okay, N1TZU, Tango Zulu Uniform. This is W2BNY. I'm not sure anybody else is copying you except for me. I missed your handle, but I copied most everything else. He's in a camper, in an RV. He's near, I think, Brunswick, Maine. So he's working portable and using a Cheyenne transmitter. I do remember the call several weeks ago. He checked in, so he's listening along with us. And good to have you aboard here this morning from the great state of Maine. And we've got W3MMR, KK4GZQ, and N2MIN on with us this morning. So very good. Glad you could. With that, I'm going to pass it down to Art in Long Island. I'm not sure if I'm going to copy that or not, but we'll give it a try here. So N2 W2BNY.
All right, Whiskey 2, Bravo, November. W2BNY there, Steve. You're strapping down here on Long Island. We're on the Viking 2 this morning. Just 100 watts, that's about it. But anyway, I want to get back to Perry on this Cantenna. I have a Bird, 1,000-watt dummy load. And I took out all the PCB oil because it stunk, and I was afraid it was gonna spill. And because it's got a vent on the top there, expansion tank. I cleaned it out with 91% alcohol, got rid of the PCB oil, washed it all out, and filled it with 4 quarts of mineral oil that I bought at the mineral store. 99.9% pure. And that's what I filled my Bird dummy load, 1,000-watt dummy load. Looks like a big load. And the expansion tank, I didn't put any oil in the expansion tank because that oil, when it heats up, it has to have some place to go, Perry. I don't know how much room you got in your Cantenna, But anyway, you need room for expansion of the oil when it gets hot. I don't know who it goes to. So, Perry, if you respond, very good. If not, we're going to give everybody 73s. And Steve, you're really sounding good over here from Buffalo. And I heard the station there in Maine. I heard them very low, but I did hear them. So with that, November 2, Mike India, November. We'll listen out for you, Perry. W3MMR.
Yeah, it goes to Kevin, GZQ, then back to me. So go ahead and pick it up, Kevin, then I'll respond.
Okay, I think I'm going to go ahead and actually, I'm going to go ahead and jump out, guys. W2MI, W3MMR, BNY. There's an L1 station out there somewhere, Steve said. And I'm sorry, I've heard a couple of people try to get in twice. And just a tough band conditions this morning, but we can hear you. We'll get you in here. I'm going to go ahead and sign out. Perry, I don't suspect anything of those fans. You've got it all under control now. I don't anything at all like that disturbing your audio. So I'd say you've done a good job. I was wondering how you attach your 6-inch ductwork, your exhaust line there, coming from the amplifier. I was wondering how you attach to it. Who knows, there may be a situation one day where I have to do something like that. And that sounds like a great idea. And then getting your noise off. Or muffled down to where you can't hear it or what have you. So, anyway, good deal on everything. And yeah, Perry, you're stronger. It's not, difference between night and day, but I can tell. I listen to you enough to know. At least I think I do. Of course, propagation has a lot to do with it, but on a regular basis, that amplifier has really helped your signal. So, anyway, 7:30 around, Perry, I'll give it to you, and good morning to everybody on the frequency. It sure has been a pleasure and a privilege. W3MMR to take it. This is KK4GZQ. I'm going to head on out of here. 7:30.
Morning, Kevin. WA1UQM.
Good morning, Henry.
Good morning, Jim. WA1UQM breaking in. I think Kevin said Henry's in there, so we got to figure things out here. Henry, Jim, me. I'll send it to Jim, WA1UQM, then do Henry, and then to Steve, BNY, then Art got out of there, and Kevin got out of there. So, I'll send it to Jim. Jim, you're going to send it to Henry, N4EDQ. And Henry, you send it back up to Steve, W2BNY. Not sure if he signed. And I'll probably stick around here for one more. Good morning, Jim. Great signal up here. Big signal, buddy. And fantastic sounding rig as always, Jim. Great to hear you. What was I going to say? And that was Bob, N1TZU. Bob up in Maine. Good morning to you, Bob. While you're portable, I do hear you down here. I was able to copy about 50% of what you said, and I was able to make out your call. And then since I was able to make out your call, I remembered who you were. So great to hear you, Bob. N1TZU from Brunswick, Maine, portable. I think he said he's on the Heathkit Cheyenne this morning in a camper. So great to hear you, Bob. Sounding wonderful down this way to Chester, Pennsylvania this morning. Kevin, that 6-inch dryer tube is just sitting on top of the amplifier. I didn't attach it. I didn't want to attach it permanently and have to modify the thing. It's literally just sitting on top of there. And it's actually pretty sturdy. And what I did was, the RF deck section, there's a lid underneath of the outer case that goes onto the RF deck section, okay? And then there's the tube chimney and the outlet, the air outlet, hole right there. And what I did was I put some this foam, window insulation. It's almost like foam weather stripping, and put that around the hole, just thick enough so that the upper part of the enclosure, the top lid, would seal against that. So I wouldn't lose any of that, air out to the sides around the tube. So it kind of directs it right up into the tube there. So no hot air sits there underneath and gathers in the desk, and it exhausts it right out the back of the desk and out into the room there. So it works good so far. And then I'll send you a picture. I built a door on the front of that desk there and kind of insulated the backside of it. So I got it working pretty well there. So and Henry, real good, and Art, real good there on the info on the dummy load. So with that being said, let me keep it moving on here, and I'll send it to Jim, WA1UQM, and you'll send it to Henry N4EDQ. WA1UQM in the group, 7-3 to Kevin, and the rest who left. This is W3MMR.
Okay, Perry, very good. We just tweak things up, W3MMR, and the group, WA1UQM. Well, good morning to you, Perry. Now, we always have a pipeline in here. You always sound great. You always have a big signal. And I just thought I'd stick my nose in and say good morning. I heard Kevin in there as well. Good morning to you, Kevin. Hope all is well with you in Kentucky. And Bob and Steve and the rest of the crew. A very good morning. We're running the Homebrew 813 rig this morning. Running about, stand by, about 150 watts. Yeah, about 150 watts of carrier. Overcast day today. Going to be pretty overcast most of the week here, Perry. So people are cooped up inside, and I guess a little sunshine would be a big welcome here, so people can get their exercise in and reduce a little stress. So thanks for letting me stop by. Again, good signal, Perry. Always very, very strong. And Steve is strong in here as well, W2BNY, and copy just about everyone. I know you told me to turn it to Henry. I didn't quite get his call. I think it's November 4, November uniform, Quebec. I'm not sure. Henry, if I messed it up, I apologize for that, but my name is Jim. We're located in Simsbury, Connecticut, about 12 miles northeast of Hartford. So over to you, Henry. This is WA1UQM.
You in there, Henry? N4EDQ, W3MMR.
You still there, Henry?
I don't think he's there. Real quick, let me see if Bob, are you still in there? M1TZU. If you're in there, you can pick it up, and we'll have you send it to Steve BNY. I'm sorry, Bob. I thought you were getting out of there. I think you just broke back in. M1TZU, W3MMR. good copy, Bob. Wow, real good copy. So you're 6 miles west of Littleton, New Hampshire, and that's where you're portable at this morning. Real good. Better copy that go around, Bob. Awesome to work you. I always love, talking to the low power stations and trying to get you guys in here. Guys that are portable, guys in the mobile, so on and so forth. So let me get it over to Steve, BNY, see if he's still in there. If not, I'll pick it up and for my final, and then I'm going to go ahead and sign. W2BNY, are you still around, Steve? W3MMR.
Okay, Perry, W3MMR, W2BNY here in Buffalo. And, the band is pretty decent here today. Usually it washes out after sunup, but it's continuing on pretty good. Perry, you're about 30 over on that Henry 3K. Kevin was about 25 over, and 7 threes to Kevin. And I think Artie checked out also. He was about 10 over. And Jim, you've got a good signal in the Buffalo here from Connecticut, WA1UQM, about 35 over. So a lot of strong signals here. And I wasn't able to pick up Henry N4EDQ. I think he's still in there with us. But okay, Perry, very good on the 3K and the Cantenna. We talked about the mineral oil working pretty good, and I'm not able to hear any background noise. I had that problem here. I've got a whole bunch of cooling fans and different pieces of equipment, and I'm using an EQ Plus, W2IHY EQ Plus, and it's got a noise gate on it, so that solved all my shack noise problems with the noise gate, and the fan noise apparently does not get through. I can hear it in the shack, but the noise gate takes care of that noise going into the microphone and the audio processing. So anyway, appreciate you guys letting me in here today. Good to hear everybody on. This is, like I said, late in the morning to hear such great stations, and there were very strong signals. So anyway, I'll pass along my 7 threes, and good morning to everybody. Hope everybody has a good day here. Perry, I'll shift it back to you. I think you're going to do your final also. So W3MMR, W2BNY.
Yeah, all right, Steve, let me, Bob, KN4HH is down there. I don't think he's copying us up too well up here. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to say 7-3, guys. Great to hear you, fellas. It's always a pleasure. Steve, big signal here. You're a good 20-25 over. The DX100 sounds absolutely marvelous. And I can't hear the noise gate working. That's why I don't use a noise gate, because I don't like to hear it working. But if somebody has a noise gate set up well, I don't mind it. As long as a lot of people have this blasting noise in the background, and they'll have the attack time or the release time real slow, and after they get done talking, there's about a quarter of a second of and then it shuts off, you know what I mean, and makes it real evident there. So, but you've got it set up just right, Steve. And yeah, I can see it a little bit on the scope and a little bit on the pan adapter there. But everybody's, it's, at least it's not as loud as it was before. So at least I made some progress here. It was so loud that I had to talk louder. Like when you're around loud things, you start talking louder. Like that's how loud it was in here. I felt like I was screaming into the microphone. All right, guys, well, we'll say 7-3. What is going on here? We'll say 7-3. And we'll catch up with you fellas a little bit later. And hopefully we'll catch up with you guys maybe tomorrow morning. Up to you, Jim. And I'm going to listen out for your final. WA1UQM, 7-3 guys from W3MMR.
Yeah, okay, Perry. Have yourself a fine week and a fine morning. And thanks for letting me drop in this morning. W3MMR, W1UQM. Always sound fantastic here, Perry. Beautiful audio. I think you basically have a nice sounding broadcast voice anyway, so you come across always very, very, very smooth, Perry. So enjoy your day. And again, good morning to you, Steve and Bob. Good luck with your home, with your new home, TZU portable. Copy you just fine here in Connecticut. Well, we're going to grab our second cup of coffee and just listen out here for a while, and maybe get back on later on with some of the locals. So with that, over to you, Steve. W2BNY is still there. W1UQM. Good morning, everyone. Okay, Bob, good luck with your project. How far along are you?
673, guys. Great to hear you, fellas. It's always a pleasure.
No, we're bringing our own coffee and meeting over at the pavilion at the Dolphin.
Oh, okay.
Where everybody can socially distance.
But still be social. Antisocial. Can I be antisocial?
What?
Antisocial distancing? Yeah.
Well, Garrett had to go back to work.
Oh, man. He was bombed, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was not a happy camper.
Maybe the latest enough on the job. He'd be off.
Well, he got a bonus week, didn't he? Yeah, because he was supposed to have worked last week, but he didn't because of the COVID-19 scare.
Right.
So he did stretch it on a week there.
Yeah, guess what, Brian? It's going to rain. When? Wednesday.
Oh, the wind was... That's yesterday.
Yeah, it was pretty breezy.
What was that, Steve?
Did you shower climbing yesterday?
No, not yesterday, no.
Really?
Yeah, work is right.
Oh, I was going to say, we're going to be on the towel right now. His father passed away.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, they kind of do it coming.
Oh, they were they can see that one coming?
Yeah, not for a real long time.
Yeah, that bites.
Yeah. 57.
Like what's heavy?
I know, I like what
Like what I do?
Yeah, kind of like that.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
I don't know if that was the word. It contributed, I'm sure.
I actually had a liquor drink last night.
Oh,
did you? Oh, yeah.
What'd you have?
Some bourbon, glass of bourbon.
Oh, good boy. You put it over ice or you mix it with anything?
Yeah, just on the rocks.
Yeah, that's the best way to drink liquor. I like the best way to drink it is fast. Tossing it back, or you just do that in a big shot glass.
Yeah, like it was tequila or something.
Doesn't have one, they just do it.
Yeah, no, we all.
I think that's one of Steve McElroy's famous. He likes those big glasses that have the salt around the rim.
My worst memories is with Southern Comfort.
That's it.
Oh, that's just nasty.
Quite tough.
It makes me rich just thinking about it.
So how old were you when you were guzzling that stuff?
Oh, 18.
Yeah, we got it. Yeah, it's like Southern Comfort to you is like slow gin fizz to me.
I remember the dorm rooms and at Tech, they had these desks in there that had a well, the top of the desk wasn't metal. It was like real thick like cardboard, like a drawing surface. Like a porous top on the surface on the top that was suitable for drafting and drawing. And that thing would stink. It would soak up the Southern Comfort and it would stink.
Oh, geez.
If they had the silicone chimneys in a Alpha 76 soaking up that cigarette smoke and stinking.
Oh God, I've never seen that.
You remember when I had old Smokey over here? I had to throw those chimneys in the garbage.
That's right. You went. Didn't Dick have some spares?
I went. I bought the material and made them.
What about?
Was that the 77 or was that the little one?
It was a 76 PA.
Smokey Joe.
And that paint they used, didn't it kind of, all that nicotine on that old paint?
Oh yeah, that's the famous sticky paint.
Yeah.
Nicotine is colorless. It's brown. People always say nicotine stains, but it's tar.
Yeah, tar and nicotine.
That's right.
Nicotine
goes to the
inside
brain.
the Waffle House is yellow.
That's why the ceiling at the Waffle House is yellow.
Yeah.
And the walls.
That color so the small ones go right.
Make them yellow so it's camouflage.
There you go. Camouflage.
Camouflage.
We don't want to get together till 7 o'clock. Usually meet over about 6. Right, right time.
Yeah. Yeah, they're slipping, aren't they?
I don't know, maybe it wasn't right enough. 6 o'clock. Like to go there, makes me feel young.
Oh, well, okay. So they're younger than you? Oh, yeah, I got what you mean. Yeah, that would make more sense.
Well, Brian, we did a Dairy Queen drive-through yesterday. My grandsons insisted on doing the DQ thing. Yeah, we did the O'Charlie's too. Oh, really? Okay, bring that up too far. Yeah, there's an O'Charlie's over here at noon, and I've not been too pleased with their food, but that's okay. Good.
That's hard to beat Hungry Howie's.
I'm going to try one of their thin pieces next.
I
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, now those crusts aren't made on premises.
All of them are brought in on truck, aren't they?
No. The regular ones, they make it right there.
What about the deep dish, do you know?
I don't think that's made there either. Yeah, read the fine print. They tell you which ones are made there and which ones are.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot. The fine print is definitely there.
I have a basic incompatibility issue here.
For the what?
My COVID-19 beard and not shaving and my N95 mask.
Yeah, that makes it fit kind of funky. Yeah. There was
See,
this
that
guy
beard
in World
filters
War
out
I.
around the edges.
There was this guy in World War I that the gas mask didn't fit too well, so he had to modify his mustache. His name was Adolf Hitler.
Oh.
That's all right. He can. Yeah, I got
Well,
my
I guess
new
one of these
box
days
of
I'm gonna
53 three-ply gas or masks or whatever.
W4 WMT.
Before WC.
I gotta start working. See you guys, W2FMU. I'll have the radio running.
What's with the...
Man, he's busy.
Hey, Bazooey, now you're going to be wearing a mask, I assume, and what's with the gloves? Why do you have to wear gloves when you go out in public? You don't have to wear gloves. Don't touch your face and wash your hands. Right, yeah. Well, I agree with that, but everybody, I see people wearing gloves all the time. I thought, curious.
Those are morons.
He's been on the front lines since the whole time. I have not worn a mask one time. Stay 6, 7, 8 feet away from everybody. Don't. Been tested over and over and over. Stay away from me. Yeah. So I bought a box of 50 masks only for the psychological deal when you go to the grocery store. You know, if you got the mask on, I guess psychologically it makes other people feel better.
Well, they may think all he's got is
The mask is just sneezing down every aisle. Directions. It's Walmart. Different arrows on the aisle. They're all one-way aisles. That's right. Yeah, Publix does the same thing. I went to Publix day before yesterday and the same thing. Although they didn't say no passing zone. So when you go down one way, if somebody stopped, I went around a couple of people, so they didn't have a sign that said no passing. That's a feel-good thing. That's what it is, yeah. The American public has bought into this propaganda, so hey, fun and games. Yes, you know, if you tell them that, then end up fighting all across each other. Yeah. Well, that's true, but you know, they're pushing the left side of the political spectrum says, well, we got to get a vaccine before we open up and everything. It's kind of funny. On the flu vaccine they have every year, it's only about 60% effective. So when they get the vaccines for coronavirus out, I wonder what the effectiveness is going to be on it. Sometimes the flu vaccine's only 9% effective. They don't know how effective it is because people aren't dying. That's right, but more people in Florida die from car wrecks than they die from the coronavirus. They die from a lot of things. That's right. It's all agenda driven. My wife keeps bugging me. We got it. She says, I don't give a damn when we get it. When we get it, we get it, you know.
But get what, the COVID-19?
I'm not even worried about that personally, but no, the bailout money we get, you know, the civilians get $1,200, $2,400, and if you're married, and businesses get millions and millions, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, you've applied?
Oh, yeah. surprised me is on the small business thing, some of the people on this frequency are not into the world of direct deposit. That kind of caught me off guard.
Yeah.
Well, one thing they announced from the news that a lot of the people that go through H&R Block, their checks from the government went to H&R Block. And the way they described it is that at H&R Block, you get money coming back, so the check comes to them, they take out their cut, and then they give you the rest. And I go to H&R Block, been going there for years, but none of that. I mean, I cut them a check when it's all said and done, you know, and the direct deposit goes right into our checking account. That kind of surprised me, that storyline on the... But that... Go there. Send them like that. They do it. They send it back to you. Yeah. But you've got do you have an accounting department, or do you have a separate company that takes care of all of that?
We got a company that takes care of it. I've done it, but I do. I don't know how to do it.
I don't want it. I understand. I agree with you.
And all that, they'll find things that I would never find. They get government, but they never. They get real well.
That's a thought. I got a frozen Collins with the fruitcake out of Texas, and I bought 2 of them last year in December, and I've been tempted though, but I know I'll eat the whole thing, so I just leave it in the freezer. I ought to send it to Brian. That's what I ought to do. He loves those things.
I'm going to need to put some temporary guys up on my tower.
Brian, if there's no wind and you got the professionals around, you don't need to worry about taking those middle guys down. You even described the situation. You do it with the pros, and it's the middle guys, and the time it's going to take just to move that. With 2 guys up on the tower, maybe 3. And you can sit down there and watch it all being done. Not a problem.
So it's 80 feet in between guys?
Yeah, you were describing the problem. You got this thing that's below where it should be, and you got to loosen the guy up on the other side of where it's supposed to be. And I know it annoys you so terribly, so you got to hire the professionals to come out, bite the bullet, have them do it, and it's done. You have to be on the ground maintaining social distance.
I don't know, 80.
the community that starts with the G-A-Y. Those people, they've got money. I've heard stories that, Atlanta is only second to Denver and San Francisco in that community. Well, it's the ones that, whatever. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of the Hershey bar stuff scenario, yeah. I know.
Yeah, look at this. I hope these tree service guys can come out soon.
Well, one thing about that business is very easy to maintain the social distancing.
Yeah, gourd head. Are those the ones that fixed the wrong boards? Oh, okay, that was nice of them.
Sale taking place?
You got a taco for sale?
My old 1997 Ford Ranger, which runs good, I've had two XCs over the last couple of years. They see it in the driveway and they want to buy it. Got to put tires on that. Oh, yeah. Although the little ones are, I remember the big ones, I've seen as many as 5 XCs in the front seat on a standard F-150. You can't do that in a Ford Ranger or a little Taco, Yeah. I've had 3 adults in my pickup and my grandsons, and when the 4-shifter, the big steer, I have to make sure there's room to shift that damn thing. But my grandson, I've loaned it to him. I picked up the $540 every 6-month liability on it, but Evan's doing pretty good. Yesterday and finished blowing the leaves and cutting the grass, and we went to Dairy Queen. One thing nice about going to Dairy Queen store and sometimes Hungry Howie's is when you go to the window, they got pretty young teenage girls that are waiting on you with their clear gloves, but they weren't wearing masks at Dairy Queen. They were wearing those clear gloves. Well, you remember when Garrett went to get tested, the process, the procedure had to go through to get checked. Wow. Yeah. Eagles Landing over in Henry County is advertising on TV. Come on down. We'll test you for corona.
Come on down.
Yeah. So, down in Florida, in the Tampa Bay, Pinellas County area down there, the hospitals are basically empty. And they're laying people off. Your wife, is she hearing anything about going back to her working environment?
they haven't set a date yet.
Yeah, I'm just curious. I just read a blurb that this guy is got a second cousin or something. She works in, and they're laying people off in both sides of the Bay Area down there. The hospitals are just.
Well, nobody wants to go to the hospital because they're afraid.
Well, that's it. But I don't know how Florida's not as strict on their, quarantine, but I know. But up here now, if you got a restaurant with 500 square feet, that's how many. You're limited how many people you can have in there. With 500 square feet of area, that's all part of the Governor Georgia's thing. Good morning.
Well, I'm going to call this tree service and see if they'll answer the phone.
At 7:30?